Prashant, over to you.
I've sort of moved across to the wall here, and you will hear lots of what a Trump victory means for the world, for markets, for emerging markets, for the US. And, that'll be something which we will continue to get to you. But, what I've done is just looked at essentially what Mr. Trump has said in his speeches, in interviews about some of the big stuff, which I think we'll all watch very closely. Now, he's had views straight up, same views for the last 25, 30 years, and he has believed that tariffs are a fantastic idea to sort of encourage your own manufacturing. You can go back to his interviews in the late 80s, 90s, and he's a tariff guy. So what has he said, going into this particular election? He's promised 10% tariffs on all imports coming into the US. He's sort of talked about something called matching tariffs. So, if you tariff American goods coming into your country, your goods coming into America will be tariffed at the same rate. 10% tariff on all imports. 60% tariffs, if you can go back to the last plate, 60% tariff on Chinese imports. That's point number 2. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. 60%. Now, we don't know if this is a starting negotiation or will we actually see 60%? Most believe it's highly unlikely. It's a negotiating tactic. Let's move to the next thing, and this is more relevant to US markets and US equities. He's promised to cut the corporate tax rate in America to 15% from 21%. And we just heard him talk about it in his victory acceptance speech, whatever you want to call it. He's promised to increase US oil production. Just from an hour ago when he spoke, he said, well, we got so much liquid gold. He was referring to black gold, oil. And he said, well, we can reduce our debt substantially. Drill, baby, drill, right? I mean, we've heard that phrase before. Some of the other stuff, eliminate taxes on tips and overtime. I mean, this got him a lot of favor with the working class in America. Deregulation, of course, has been a big sort of initiative. And Elon Musk, the richest man in the world, sort of, joining forces. He's talked about the Office of Government Efficiency. We don't know if such an office or such a title will be created, but it's been constant from both Donald Trump and Elon Musk, who's been sort of at his side through over the last 2 months or so in this campaign. And of course, the last one is immigration. That was a big campaign point, illegal immigration in America. They've talked about deporting illegal aliens in America. We'll need to see how they will actually go ahead and do some of this. What I put out essentially, I mean, all these points are what we may see with a sweep, which is, Trump president, Republicans controlling both the Senate and the House. This is scenario 2. I'm not sure how relevant this is now because we know for a fact that Trump is, although it's not been officially, all the votes have not been counted, but he is president. We know they've flipped the Senate. But the House, according to some, is still in the race. It's up in the air. We don't know. If it is a divided House, which is the Republicans have got the presidency and it's a divided Congress, remember, the president can unilaterally act on tariffs. But for fiscal policy, you need the Congress. If it's a divided Congress, which I think is not the case, it's a sweep most likely, and it'll be clear in an hour or 2 from here. What perhaps we see is tariffs and contentious negotiations, some of the fiscal bump, tax cuts, etc., that might take a bit of a backseat. But as I said, I think it's scenario 1 that we should work with and look at here as well. Let's actually